Hi everyone, this is Sabri. Welcome to my vlog on crypto space. Today, 3rd of August 2017. Let's see what's happening in market space. And today, Bitcoin stayed around $2,745 with a positive growth of 1.78 percentage, and most of the market stays green today. And second and third positions is with Ethereum and Ripple, and fourth position is with a new entrant to this list is Bitcoin Cash. And let's see what's Bitcoin Cash, because that is very new to our market, but it could stay its value around 400 and it's trading very healthy. So we have to know what is Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash is a hard fork of Bitcoin. On August 1st, Bitcoin blockchain has been hard forked into a new chain called Bitcoin Cash. So in order to know what is Bitcoin Cash, we have to go back a little bit in the history of Bitcoin, because for a couple of years there are a lot of discussions on improving transaction speed of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has 2 to 3 transactions per second speed. That means you can do only 2 to 3 transactions per second. But masters, visas, there are other payment systems, they could handle thousands of transactions per second. So in order to bring this Bitcoin to a mass, we need to improve the transaction speed. How we can improve the transaction speed? We have to increase each block size, so we can accommodate more transaction inside a block. So we can verify more transaction and have those transactions inside a block. That will definitely increase the speed. So to achieve that transaction speed, there were a lot of methods suggested in couple of years, especially with the SegWit. People might be knowing it, like removing the signature out of a block. That space can be utilized for to insert more transactions. On August and later on November, increase that block size from current 1 MB to 2 MB, and in future increase gradually. There were a lot of proposals, a lot of discussions happened around this area, but nothing materialized, and it was so slow growth. And these slow growth in adopting new technologies into the Bitcoin stagnant the Bitcoin's growth of mass adoption especially. So there were a group of developers, miners and investors who really want to see Bitcoin's block size increase, so it will be used by lot of people. And what they did is, like, they increased the block size from current 1 MB to 8 MB. That is, you see guys, like, it's 8 times increased. So the block size being increased from 1 MB to 8 MB, and that new blockchain will have, or it can able to do a lot of transactions in a single block. So the transaction speed will increase with a Bitcoin Cash. So that's what the aim behind Bitcoin Cash, and they could able to successfully pull Bitcoin Cash. And a lot of people predicted Bitcoin Cash won't survive more than an hour or two or even a day, but it stayed, and the chain seems very healthy. Around 30 percentage of hashing power goes behind the Bitcoin Cash, and I think Bitcoin Cash is here to stay. So with that Bitcoin Cash, you can see from this particular block there is a new flag added the block. So with that signature, or with that hash, the old blockchain can't recognize this, so these new blocks can't be integrated into that existing classical Bitcoin blockchain. So from this block onwards, we had the block Bitcoin Cash is created. So August 1st is the important day where we are having two blockchains. One is a Bitcoin, a main one, a long running one, and the new one is a Bitcoin Cash. With that, let's see what is the support around Bitcoin Cash in India exchanges. All major Indian exchanges, they said they are not going to support any hard fork of a hard fork or soft fork, or any major changes happen around Bitcoin, especially on Azepay. They, in their blog, they clearly mentions they are not going to support it. The same goes with Coin and Coin Secure also. They, in their blog, they said they are not going to support any hard fork of Bitcoin. But it may change, guys. Like, if Bitcoin Cash is stayed and the values goes in manifold, then people will start asking their share of Bitcoin Cash. So if you have one Bitcoin and you hold your private key for that Bitcoin, you can have one Bitcoin Cash. How? Because the Bitcoin Cash blockchain is splitted on this particular block. So whatever you hold in a Bitcoin previously, in Bitcoin Cash blockchain also it stays. So if you hold one Bitcoin and you hold your private key, and you will be getting one Bitcoin Cash in the new or Bitcoin Cash blockchain also. But after the split, it's completely different. So if you hold your private key and you would be getting one Bitcoin Cash for one Bitcoin. But most of the people from India, I think they may have their Bitcoins in exchange wallets. So if they are not supporting, that means you are not going to get your Bitcoin Cash. So but this situation may change, but as of now, all these three major exchanges, they are not supporting it. So with that, there is a new entrant into it that I want to give these informations to the people like who's follow it. There is a new exchange, Coinex. So it's not open, so you can go and register, and you can wait for the invite. Once it started, I think this is one where we can do Ethereum transactions. So check out these guys on all this. And the next one is important one is like the new regulations formed around Bitcoin and virtual currencies. The Supreme Court asked our central government and RBI, what are the regulations or rules currently we have to regulate these virtual currencies are not used for terrorist or any illegal activities. For that, our government is formed an interministerial panel, and they are looking into the ways to regulate these virtual currencies, so less people will get scammed, or it will be put in a proper use. So with that, SEBI, our Security Exchange Board of India, also formed a group. It's a committee on financial and regulatory technologies. In their website, they posted like they will be exploring this fintech, a new generation of changes or technologies in fintechs, and how it is going to impact. And hopefully these new regulations are very good, guys, because we know like Indian people are very conservative when it comes to investments or putting their money. They are not going to put their money in a virtual currency in the next day, because we know a lot of scam happens. We don't trust people much, and so we need heavy regulations backing on these Bitcoins and all these virtual currencies. Once we have these regulations, and once people have trust, then we'll see people start adopting and start investing much in India. So these kind of regulations are very important, and I hope these regulations will bring more awareness to our Indian people. What are you guys thinking? With these kind of regulations is needed for Indian people to start investing it, or even if we have regulations, our people may not start investing it? Please leave your comments. Thanks for watching.